How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man, and this is part 3 of 4 of our Survivor class breakdown. So, with my boy, Henry the Red, I'm just letting you know he's a top tier. I'm gonna spoil it for you, but there's some interesting reasons why he's a top tier warrior for me. If you like these kind of breakdowns, like, share, subscribe, etc. I go from class to class just so certain characters of another class don't outshine someone of a different class. I believe all characters are viable, but I believe some bring more to the table. But I also don't want, for example, a hunter to be compared to a warrior because they do different things, right? Let's just be honest. So let's go from the top down instead of down up. Alright, so this is going to be a little different. Henry the Red. So, he's carried by his active. Let's just be real. He's carried by his active. Unstoppable. For 7 seconds, you don't receive damage. You don't receive knockback from attacks. The cooldown was upped from 60 seconds to 75 seconds. But there were some nice, unnoted buffs to my boy. As you will see, shields are damaged before health when going into the fog. That's good. Not only that, but Henry's unstoppable now blocks fog damage. So when an altar is barely covered by the fog and any other survivor would be at serious risk to go in there for a quick save, Henry the Red can pop his ability, get the save, and you guys can dodge out the fog. During the dark ones, that is beast. That is so clutch. And that buff puts him up above a lot of characters because he's just one of those that can do that well. And of course he has the extra shield bar too, which means if something happens, he has the extra second or so to stay in the fog. That extra shield bar is actually coming in a lot of clutch, coming in very clutch recently, due to fog revives. But there are not many of those, but that is a very attractive feature to have someone who can still revive in the fog. That's very attractive. Shields up, you start with an additional shield bar. I wish it was 2, but oh well. 30% of the damage done to you while you have a shield is deflected back onto attacker. That scales down super low. It's garbage. It used to be health and shield. Now it's just shield, so it doesn't do much. And battle hardened is only a 10% health and shield bar length increase. Should at least be 25. Should at least be something a little bit notable. So that is it. That is Henry the Red. He's very simple. He goes in there. You can go max defense, you can go some damage, it's all up to you. I tend to go tank on Henry. He just goes in there, does his thing. You do want to be mindful of the demon dash, of boss grabs, of boss disruptors. There are some techniques of the boss that will disrupt you, like the telekinetic shock, the AoE shock from Eligos, or the fart gas. So you just want to be mindful. And also be mindful that Homegirl Granny, Thick Granny, has a 75-second demon dash cooldown if invested, which is the same as a 75-second cooldown of Henry, unless Henry invests a bit in cooldown. But it's still really close together, so you want to be mindful of how you use that power when you're facing one of those demons, Plaguebringers. And real quick, here is something to show you guys real quick. A nice little clip here. Okay, and of course, we are off next to Army of Darkness Ash. Army of Darkness Ash is the most is also another good guy. He's consistent. Once again, all warriors can pretty much run whatever build they want. They can run damage or tank. So the builds, I'm not really going to go particular to builds. But of course, you have Wise Man's Potion. Everyone knows what that does. Damage increase 30%. Damage reduction, incoming damage reduction 30%. 250 health. 30 fear reduced. So you just go in there, you tank, and then Shield Blast. Whenever your shield pops, you do a 125 explosion, which good. It sprinkles AoE damage throughout team fights, which is good. And finish strong. When you do a finisher, you get 40 of a shield bar. So you do a finisher, you pop. You do a finisher, you pop. It's just an endless cycle here. And we have Weapon Master Chainsaw. The Warrior Weapon Masters suck. It is what it is, like 5%, but there it is. It be there. So, Army of Darkness Ash. There's actually really not much to say about this guy. He's like a standard good guy. He heals. He can reduce his fear. He gets tanky. He does more damage. He's just a mix of everything that you want. Longevity, just everything. So there's really not much to say about this guy. He's just a good, solid warrior. Next up is Mia. Mia is a bit below Army of Darkness Ash. Her damage scaling is much higher, but she's not as consistent, and she drops off at the book. Let's get into it. So uncontrollable. 25 seconds. Your fear increase per second is 3. Fear reduction per kill is 8. So after 25 seconds, you will lose 8 fear for each dude that you kill. So that goes with fear leads to anger. So typically they play with high fear, or they let their fear get high. So you go damage increase 1% after a threshold of 20. That stacks up to a total of 40. So you have 40 stacks, and then you just go, you just slash and gash. So Mia walks around with the highest buff in terms of warrior in the game right now, currently. Blood Rain, so 10% of your heavy attack is converted to a 5-second bleed. And Weapon Master Machete. The Machete has a faster attack speed and deals increased health, balance bar, dismemberment. I believe the number is between 5 and 10%. Nothing much. But that increased attack speed will make you butcher your team horribly if you are possessed. So you do want to be mindful. Once again, a lot of warriors have this similar stuff. There's nothing really super, like, you know, game-changing outside of Henry in terms of warriors and warrior builds. But when it comes to a character like Mia, and yes, I ran anti-fear. So this is part of an experimental build just to see how long I could solo a point. And it worked quite well. So it was just based off of how long can I solo a point. And yeah, I carried that point. It was interesting. Because this is all about staying on the point versus anything else. Like, there's literally just how long I could stay on the point. And it went quite far. But Mia's not bad. Of course, the damage is good. And as I said, once the book happens, once that Life Sword hits, she loses that buff. So, and that is a very critical 2 minutes of the game, because a demon could win in 2 minutes of just attacking the book. So, that is what it is. And next, of course, is Scotty. Scotty is a little bit below Mia. I don't think he's garbage. I think Mia does some similar stuff better. But there is one thing that I think is underrated of him. So let's go into it real quick. So Thunder Thrust, it's a 30-second cooldown. A 150 damage explosion. Not bad. He does a little animation. He goes, ah! And then he blows up. Okay. Collateral damage. This is something that I'm thinking is a little bit underrated. So your impact radius is 9.8 feet, and 13% of the damage that you do is shared to them. The thing about this is that you can be attacking a possessed unit and other units will fall. And a lot of people don't really talk about it, but one value of having units fall really fast is that if they fall really, really fast, then the demon will have to summon a unit to possess them instead of using a lingering unit that's walking around. That's one good thing. The other thing too is the book protection. So AIs will actually run up and beat the book now. They don't just stand around. They will beat the book, and they will do damage, good damage to the book. So getting things killed faster is just a really good way of protecting. Once again, the book cannot be ignored. So he does have that. And also making units fall faster helps in terms of ammo. If the hunter is using guns on regular basics and whatnot that are not possessed, then it helps save. Exposure therapy, fear reduced, well, fear recovered, what? Fear reduced by kill or recovered, whatever word they want to use. 5. So you kill a bunch of things, so your fear gets a little bit low. And Weapon Master Lumberjack Axe, 5% again. So and that's Scotty. Like you go around, you do things, you do heavy attacks with the Lumberjack Axe, and you have fun. That's it. Warriors are really simple creatures in this game. But that's it. What do you think anybody else should be? Do you think Mia should be super S tier? Do you think she's garbage? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, etc. And of course, stay safe, stay hydrated, and have a good one.